Hey everybody, ChristopherOdd here. Welcome to Wasteland 2. Wasteland 2 is the successor to the original Wasteland that was released in 1988, which is well before my gaming time kicked in. And the original Wasteland actually inspired a whole genre of the post-apocalyptic world and specifically the Fallout series. And for people that have played the top-down kind of isometric Fallout games, you'll probably see a lot of similarities. For me, this will be my first experience with one of those style of games, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard that it doesn't do a lot of hand-holding. We're going to have to figure things out on our own. And what's really intriguing to me is that you're going to be presented with a lot of choices, whether they're subtle or very obvious, and you're going to have to live with those decisions as you go. We're going to have a squad of 4 people, and I think we can add to that as the game goes on. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think that there's going to be a lot of narrative. There's going to be a lot of story. Some of it will be voice acted, some of it won't be, but I will be reading it all. I want to be as thorough as I possibly can, and if there's dialogue that has to be read that's not voice acted, I'll just read it. And I think we're going to have a really good time figuring out this story and figuring out what's going on in Wasteland 2. So let's get started. I've already pre-built my squad, and I'll introduce you to them. And then through the introductions, I'll kind of teach you some of the parts about character creation without just going through and just reading off each of the different skills that we can have. So here is my squad. As you can probably tell, I've gone with the Ninja Turtles. We've got Leonardo, who's going to be our quote-unquote leader. We've got Donatello, who's going to focus on the technology and the disarming of traps and just kind of the overall brains of the operation. We've got Michelangelo, who will have some high charisma and some specific social skills. And then Raphael, who's going to be kind of our brute force guy. He's going to fight primarily with melee weapons and have a high strength and things like that. So let's show you each of the different characters. So this is Leonardo. I've gone with a higher level of intelligence. One of the most important things to understand here is how intelligence impacts your skill points per level. Down here, you'll see skill points per level. Every time that one of our rangers levels up, they're going to gain an additional 4 skill points if their intelligence is at a minimum of 8. Now, this to me is really important because long term, having more skill points that we can distribute over here is just massive. And, you know, to be honest, I'd love to go into a level 10 intelligence for everybody, but then we won't have skills to use anywhere else. So all of my Ninja Turtles are going to have an intelligence of level 8 to max out, or essentially max out, the skill points per level. The second important piece is the number of action points here, and this is the amount of points that you get to spend each turn during battle. So each action in combat, so moving, shooting, skill uses, etc., they cost AP. More is obviously better. So for Leonardo, I've gone with an intelligence of 8, a charisma of 5, and the reason I've gone with a higher level of charisma is because you have things called a leadership radius. And over here, under leadership, a true leader is made, not born. With this skill, you will inspire others to trust and follow you. Use this power only for good. First, your companion NPCs will listen to your orders more often and go rogue less often. Second, your presence instills confidence in your team, increasing their chance to hit when they're near you. So by having a higher leadership radius, that actually impacts all of those around us to have a higher chance to hit when we're in combat, which is pretty spectacular, I think. I've gone with lower luck on all of my Ninja Turtles because this is just about finding more loot, chances to evade and things like that. And the additional benefits, like it goes up so marginally, where even at max level, you're at 4.5% and then a 9 critical chance. The crit chance is nice, but to align 9 attribute points to do that is, I think, a little bit overkill. Coordination has an impact on your action points, which is pretty important. So I think Leonardo's a pretty good balance, actually. I like his awareness where it is, strength in the middle, speed in the middle, a higher intelligence, higher charisma. And then I've gone with leadership, as I said, and we've gone with perception. So we're going to take this skill to see things others miss and spot ambushes before they spot you. The perception skill is used to highlight objects of interest in the wasteland. Drawing your attention to hidden traps, alarms, and other secrets. Hovering your cursor over an item will also trigger a check. Select the skill to see a visual of your perception range. So perception could be very, very helpful in being able to identify some of the unfortunate things we may run into out in the wasteland. I've also gone with field medic and surgeon. So Leonardo is going to be our kind of overall medic. Other people will have some field medic or surgeon abilities, I think, but Leonardo is going to be the main guy for that. As well, we're going with assault rifles, so it's kind of a well-rounded rifle. Up close, it's not as strong, but the way I look at this is we're going to take the assault rifles to do damage from further away, but if we get low on ammo, and it is kind of expensive ammo, then we've got bladed weapons to fall back on. And my understanding is that with the weapon skills, whichever you pick, you're going to start with. You'll have these weapons available to you right off the bat. So, pretty good stuff. Next here, you'll see that we've uploaded a custom picture. This is going to be what Leonardo looks like. I've done a little biography here, and he's going to be a 20-year-old American, doesn't smoke, doesn't favor any religion. So, that's Leonardo. Donatello, I've gone with a higher coordination, again, higher intelligence, and then a little bit higher speed. That means some lower awareness and strength. Now, some important things to notice down here. So combat initiative, this is how often your turn comes up in combat. The higher your initiative, the more often your ranger will get a turn. The other thing here is constitution, and this is kind of like your hit points. So we have 20 constitution. Every level will gain an additional 8, and these are impacted by other things in here like strength, and I think that's pretty much the only one. Yeah, strength is the only one. So it does impact your carry weight as well, but Raphael is going to be our guy with heavier strength. Where are we here? So in terms of weaponry, we're going to go with blunt weapons because, you know, Donatello uses a bow staff, and sniper rifles. So we have the flexibility with being able to get up close, but being able to stay far behind if we want to, and if we have the ammo that allows us to do that. Donatello's also going to be our techie guy, so he's going to take care of disarming alarms, hacking into computers, doing any sorts of lock picking or safe cracking, and pretty much all of our focus with him is going to be going in these key areas, and sniper rifles and blunt weapons for weapons. Okay, here's Donatello. This is what he looks like. Very cool. And here's his picture. He's 1 year younger than Leonardo. We're going to kind of stay true to the Ninja Turtles lore if we can. Michelangelo. So again, we're going with high intelligence. I mean, from a roleplay perspective, I probably wouldn't have put Michelangelo this high. However, we need those skill points per level. We're going to focus on charisma with him. We're going into kiss ass, which is essentially a skill to sweet talk people. He's kind of like our cool guy that will hopefully get along with others. We've got a couple of different ass skills, I call them. Hard ass, kiss ass, and smart ass. And so hard ass, you can see here, we've got it on Raphael. He's got level 1 hard ass. Kiss ass we've got with Michelangelo. And then our smart ass we have with Raphael as well. And I would probably have gone with smart ass on Donatello, but I really wanted to focus on just his knowledge skills. So Raphael can get us out of a couple of situations, hopefully. Given Michelangelo Animal Whisperer, I'm not sure how much this is going to come up down the road, but this skill will calm different animals that we might run into in the wasteland, and we might even get them to join us on our journey. To me, that's pretty huge. The more people we could have in our party, the better. And so I want to have at least one skill point there to see if we can snag an extra companion or what have you. We've got him pretty much only on shotguns right now. We could change or add to that down the road, but Michelangelo is going to be up close and personal type of guy. You also got him on demolition, so he can deal with any bombs that we may find, and we have him a little bit focused on field medic just in case people get hurt. Okay, so this is what Michelangelo looks like. He's got the dreadlocks, obviously. He's a little bit younger, and a little bit more fun-loving than his other brothers, as we have in the biography. But pretty excited nonetheless to have Michelangelo on the squad. Last but not least, we have Raphael. So we've got his strength is his highest attribute. We've got his charisma. It's probably a bit higher than I need it to be honest. I could probably knock him down to average charisma, and maybe even increase his action points, because with the bladed weapons, we could have him hit like a few times, or we'll go like this. We'll have his strength even higher. He can carry 129 pounds of weight. His constitution per level is 10. He's going to be pretty beefy, and that'll enable him to get up close and handle things a little bit better. Brute force is a skill that helps you use your strength to its greatest advantage. Perfect for knocking down walls and smashing stuff up. Used on objects in the world that can be bashed, broken, pushed, or unstuck. So if we have a door that, say, we can't lockpick or break into somehow, we could potentially just knock it down with Raphael. And that's the game plan. We've got a point in hard ass and smart ass for him. So I know smart ass, it's about, it sounds like you might be smarter, quote unquote. But at the end of the day, this is about manipulating people. And I think Raphael would be able to do that fairly well. We also got him into the repair aspect, so mechanical repair to repair small appliances, engines, and gizmos. And then toaster repair, because you never know if you find a toaster out there, you might need fixing. And it's a very weird skill, and I'm very nervous about it. I don't want to dump too much into toaster repair, but you know I'm going to run into this one-off toaster, and I'm going to want to be able to repair it for sure. So I'm going to take that. Also, we're going bladed weapons with Raphael. So again, he will be up close and personal, and he's got the constitution to deal with that. One thing that hasn't come up is combat speed. One thing I haven't talked about in introducing the characters, I should say. Basically, it's the amount of distance you can cover per action point in combat. So increasing your combat speed will allow you to travel much further while in combat than a ranger with an equal number of action points but a lower combat speed. So makes sense. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. The only things we haven't gone over are things like barter, where the things you sell are sold at a higher price and the things you buy are bought at a lower price. And I don't know, for me, to invest 44 skill points to max this out and only get a 10% differential either way just doesn't seem worth it. I could be completely wrong because I've never played, and I don't know how much we're going to be relying on currency and buying and selling different things. And yeah, it could probably add up over the long term, but is it worth the 44 skill points to get to that maximum benefit? I don't know. And is it worth like 18 or 15 or 14 skill points to even get 5% difference? I'm not sure. Outdoorsman is something I haven't picked with anybody, but basically what this one does is it primarily is used to avoid random encounters while traveling on the map. It does say if you want to find water and live off the land, then this is a skill for you. Hopefully we can find water without this. I'm pretty sure when you're traveling on the quote-unquote global scale, you're mostly reliant on how much water you have to survive. And hopefully we can find some without this skill, but this would maybe just increase that. Perception, this is something we have on Leonardo. We talked about that a little bit. We talked about weaponsmithing. I think we've got at least one in all of our different knowledge skills, which is huge. Blunt weapons, Donatello has one. Brawling, we haven't gone with anybody. This is just fists, basically. Low damage, you get mistaken for a cage fighter. Those are things you don't want to have happen. Energy weapons sounds like it'd be very beneficial down the road. However, I imagine that the ammo is going to be very expensive. Let's see, it doesn't even say. But we can always invest in these down the road. It's just right now, I don't know if energy weapons is necessary. Handguns is something that I debated on going between assault rifles and handguns, but I think assault rifle on Leonardo is going to be a little bit more flexible. Heavy weapons, I wanted to take heavy weapons on Raphael originally, but they have a high AP cost to fire, and we only have 9 action points on him. It can slow your movement speed in combat, and our movement speed I don't think is that great to start out with. We might get this down the road, but it kind of depends how things play out. Shotguns we have on Michelangelo, sniper rifle on Donatello, and submachine guns. Take the skill if you like spending clips and cutting your enemies in half. Yeah, So it's got cheap ammo, but you probably have to use a lot of it. So this is our squad. Raphael, he looks pretty cool, I think. He's 19 as well. And let's just make sure that I have all of these guys exported so that I can use them down the road if I ever want to. And that's what I really like about this, actually. Just even in the character creation, the ability to have like custom portraits and be able to save different characters. I think that's really, really cool. And I'm not sure if this squad is going to be well equipped to deal with what's out there, but I think we have a really good balance. I think we have people that are specialized in certain areas, and I think we should be okay. So, should we get started? I think so. I think we're going to go on Ranger. Let's see what Season says. If you had some experience in the Waste or places like it, and you know at which end of the Meisen cannon to point at the enemy, this is the setting for you. If you've been around the block a few times and you think whipping your weight in Gila monitors counts as light exercise, this is probably the setting you want. Yeah, that makes me nervous, but I do want a challenge. I want to have the risk of my guys dying to be real. And I'll just be very cautious, very careful, and we're going to play on Ranger. Let's rock.
What comes after the end? I don't know. Neither did they. They were just an Army engineer battalion, constructing roads and bridges deep in the middle of the Arizona nowhere. They didn't know why Armageddon had come. They'd heard radio chatter about an attack on some space-based missile platform. But who had attacked it, or why? No one knew. What they did know is that the politicians and the generals had finally ended the world. Now, everything was gone. They took over a federal prison for a fort, kicked out the convicts, got busy starting from scratch. Maybe it was an act of mercy. Maybe they figured that the prisoners would die out in the harsh new world. Whichever, it came back to bite the engineers in the ass. Cultists, criminals, cannibals. They've been living with the fallout ever since. Good people had survived too, called for help in the night. And those engineers, those common soldiers, could not stand by and see them die. So they came out of their fort, and they helped the survivors defend their homes. And for that, they earned a new name, a proud name, the Desert Rangers. Now, Rangers, I know at times it seems our cause is hopeless. And I know it's hard to say goodbye to a brother in arms. But I want you to know something else. That no Ranger who dies in the line of duty will ever be forgotten. Nor will he have ever died in vain or unavenged. Thank you, recruits.
So this is General Vargas. It sounds by the intro there that Ace, this previous ranger, has died and they want to avenge him. This is taking place in Arizona, and it looks like it's kind of been divided into two groups, maybe even some subgroups of the Desert Rangers, who are the people kind of defending their homes, quote-unquote good side, and then you've got the people that took over the prison, and that's like where the cannibals and the miscreants came from. That's my understanding of it. And this is General Vargas. He's a stiff, bearded older man wearing a hard-worn Ranger uniform and a battered old cowboy hat. General Vargas walks with a cane, but he's not helpless. He wears a pearl-handled revolver on his hip, and there are a lot of notches on his barrel. Click anywhere or press spacebar to continue.
I appreciate you coming to Captain Ace's retirement party when you hardly knew the man. Appropriate, too, seeing as how investigating his death will be your first duty as a Desert Ranger.
Makes sense. Now, some of these are highlighted here, and I think those correspond with the options down here. You can also type your own thing, and he may or may not reply to it. But let's ask about Ace and find out how he died.
Ace had been trying to locate a faint radio signal, which has lately been giving us cause for concern. We gave him 3 repeater units and sent him to hook him up to 3 remote radio towers. This would have allowed us to get a fix on the signal. But sadly, Ace was murdered by unknown assailants right after hooking up the first tower, and his logbook and the last 2 repeater units were stolen.
Okay, interesting. So he had heard this radio signal. He goes out to try and set up these repeater units to locate this. That's actually, I could see why he would do that. That provides a lot of hope, obviously. Let's see here if anything comes up, because you can switch between your characters, and you can see here their different skills may or may not come into play. Doesn't look like there's any different options. But let's ask about our duty and see if we're ready for this.
Yeah, I know. You've hardly found your feet with us, and here I am sending you on a mission that already got 1 Ranger killed. Well, I wish I had another option, but the Desert Rangers are spread a little thin right now. Ranger teams Abel and Charlie are out west trying to stop a range war out there from becoming straight-up genocide. And Team Baker is up north looking for a way through the radiation that's cut us off from Vegas. I'm afraid the next generation is going to have to lead the charge on this one.
Interesting. So we've got radiation to the north. We've got war out to the... where did he say it was? Out west. And here we are stuck in the middle. Is this signal a threat, or is this something that is it a friendly signal?
The voice on those broadcasts disturbed me greatly. It talked crazy talk about a future where man and machine would be one. Worse,
Okay.
It talked about us, the Desert Rangers specifically. It said it was coming for us.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's certainly a threat. Crazy talk future where man and machine would be one. Interesting. And then it singles out the Desert Rangers. Okay. Now, are these presented... It looks like these are presented in order of how they come up.
When you get back to the Citadel, talk to our radio expert, Wade Woodson, if you want to know more about the technical details. All I know is the repeaters will upgrade the towers and allow us to zero in on the mystery signal.
Okay, good to know. So Wade Woodson would be somebody to speak to at the Citadel.
I'll give you the locations of the towers once you have the repeaters in hand. More important to find them first.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Leonardo.
Don't know, but it wasn't on Ace's person when he was found. Look for it. It might have some clues as to his death.
Okay, we'll try to find his logbook. And let's just ask for a summary of the mission here.
The mission is this. Search the area where Ace's body was found, and do your best to recover his logbook and the repeater units. Then call in your report. If you find the repeaters, I may send you on to finish his mission.
Okay.
Ace's death must be avenged, and it will be. But finding the signal he died trying to track down is just as important. Besides, I got the sneaking suspicion that when you find the one, you'll find the other.
You're probably right. And where is the area exactly, sir?
It's about a day's walk east from here. I'll mark it on your map.
That's good. So away from the war brewing to the west. So here we are, Ranger Citadel, and then we've got the Ranger Tower over here.
There you go.
Thank you. And what do you mean by call in exactly?
Yes, call in on your radio. Your radio is your lifeline to Ranger Citadel. We'll be calling you with alerts and updates on your current missions, and sending you new missions when we receive distress calls. As Rangers, it is your sworn duty to respond to those calls. That is the contract we made with the people of Arizona when we opened for business.
Okay, interesting. So we don't really have a choice but to accept their call. And I'm assuming that's this up here. I'm not sure what the numbers indicate. Looks like we do have a compass as well. And yeah, okay. What can you tell us about the Ranger Citadel?
Once you prove yourself, the Citadel will be your new home. Consider this mission the final test of your training. If you succeed, you are welcome within our walls. If you fail, then you aren't cut out to be a desert ranger, and we won't let you in.
Okay, so look at this. Now we've got a hard ass. What if we prove ourselves by kicking down the citadel doors, sir? Now, how does this work? Will it automatically switch to him as that being something that we have, or do I have to choose this? I'm not sure. Let's choose it for now to be certain, since he's got the hard-ass skill.
The hard-ass approach, huh?
Nice. Yeah. What if?
Well, you might get what you want from some folks in the Waste through intimidation, but it doesn't always work. Particularly with old hard-asses like myself.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
You want to kick down our doors? Go ahead, give it a try. But I ain't pissing myself just because you growled at me.
I'm not interested in burning all the bridges right now. And that eliminated us being able to ask about the final test or succeeding. But succeeding just means, obviously, getting the mission done. So, all right.
Good luck out there, recruits.
So, what do we got going on here all around us? We've got a burial site, it looks like. Looks like we can get in about that close. We can rotate around. All right, let's grab the shovel. And let's give this to Raphael. Now, what do we got here? So, keywords. Let's see. In addition to selecting a keyword, you can also manually enter them in the dialog window. Pay close attention during conversations for hints to these hidden keywords. Interesting. So, let's see here. This has got somebody speaking in, like, either Latin or... I don't even know. Pay close attention during conversations for hints to these keywords. Okay, we're gonna have to pay attention for that. Conversation skills. You can switch the active ranger in a conversation by selecting the appropriate portrait. Each of the ranger has their own strengths and weaknesses. Make sure you use the right one for the job. Alright, so it sounds like we do want to switch between the ones that are available. And then using items. Assign commonly used items or skills to your hotbar by right-clicking and selecting the item from the pop-up menu. Some skills or items act passively and can't be placed on the hotbar. So let's check out our items here. Raphael has the shovel. Let's go add to hotkey. Can we actually move that around or no? Yeah, it looks like we can. So can we examine what's going on here exactly? Here lies Ace, born a man, died a desert ranger. Oh, damn. So I probably shouldn't dig him up. Lived his life to the ranger code. These are, I'm gonna guess that these are probably throwbacks to the original Wasteland. I could be completely wrong. Okay, good to see you, recruits. Afraid I can't open this door for you yet. Can we talk with him, though? So this is the entrance to the citadel, I presume. Common Amber Starnes. A desert ranger in scarred but spotless combat armor stands at attention before the doors of the ranger citadel. He gives you a friendly salute. Now, I'm not interested in just busting our way in there. Welcome to the ranger citadel, recruits, but the general ordered me not to let you in before you finished your first investigation. Oh, I see. Here we go. Oh, interesting. Okay, so these are here, but they're blacked out. And then we would switch over, and it would tell us which we have available to use. So we could try and manipulate our way in there. Let's see what happens. The general ordered us to tell you to let us in. Nice try, recruits, but it won't get you through this door. I like your sass, though. Tell you what, I know you want to get inside so you can get your hands on the good stuff Melson's got waiting for you in the armory. Well, I got a little toy that might just tide you over. Interested? Yeah, I'm interested. What is it? I call her the Mississippi Mule, because she kicks like one. A double-barreled flintstock pistol that'll turn your enemies into a thin red paste as long as they're within 10 feet of you. She was my go-to gal when I was out on patrol, but now I'm stuck here on door duty. She doesn't get much use. You can have her as long as you promise to put her to good use. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a promise that we can keep. Leonardo has received the Mississippi Mule. Great, here you go. Treat her good, and she'll do the same to you. Alright. So, let's see. We know that nobody really has... Oh, this is a shotgun. Oh, nice. So... we know Michelangelo can use this, then. Let's transfer this over to him. And then let's use this. So, this... it can actually compare. So, currently equipped. Oh, it's actually not as good, it doesn't look like. Crit chance is the same. It's less... oh, but it's ×2. Okay. Interesting. But would also probably use more ammo. And it could do bleeding. It's got a 70-degree cone angle, so it could hit a lot more. Yeah, okay, Mississippi Mule it is. That's very cool. What else do we happen to have here? So, pocket medic pack, pain relievers, 12 points of con, and then shotgun ammo. Leonardo has assault rifle ammo, basic trauma kit, pain relievers, pocket medics, and 12-gauge shotgun ammo. Interesting. Let's give that to Michelangelo. Donatello has sniper rifle ammo. Makes sense. It says 0 out of 5 there. I don't know if that's ammo. Raphael has a shovel and pain relievers. But he also has a knife, which kind of looks like a psi weapon, so that works out pretty well. Let's see here. Swap weapons. It's empty. Let's get our guys all loaded up here. Don't see any reason we wouldn't want that. So this is our assault rifle, the M1. Alright. And we'll stick with our, we'll go unarmed, just in case. I don't know if people get... oh, here we go. I don't know if people get intimidated just by seeing what we have. The logbook contains information on the various missions and tasks the Rangers have acquired. The buttons at the top allow you to view missions you have flagged as important, are ongoing, or have resolved. Additionally, you can sort the list by selecting a sort by property from the drop-down box. That sounds good. And we also have camera rotation. Rotate the camera by clicking the middle mouse button or by pressing Q and E by default. Zoom the camera in and out with the mouse wheel. Move the edge of the screen by scrolling to the edge of the screen or using the keys. Alright. Let's check our logbook. So right now, we've got a couple things going on. We've got to search near the radio tower for the repeater units under Captain A, or the repeater units Captain Ace was carrying. We also have to look for the logbook that Ace had. This looks like kind of a primary and secondary objective. That's my guess. Search for Ace's logbook near the site where he was murdered. It might have some salient information on who killed him and why. Oh, we can actually add notes. That's pretty cool. Secondary objective. And now it saves that, I imagine. Very cool. Okay, this is awesome. Okay. A kindly older woman in standard issue ranger garb. She seems occupied counting goods and organizing crates. Aside from the clothes, she's the picture of a loving grandmother. You could swear she smells faintly of fresh baked cookies. Corporal Solveig Cephors. Well, hello recruits. Welcome to Solveig Sundries. Happy to trade whenever you like, and honored to make your acquaintance. Always nice to see new faces around here, and a pleasure to make sure they have everything they need before they head out into the big bad world. So what do you trade exactly? You've got a lot of stuff. Our party has about $50 in scrap, it looks like. But she has a lot. We've got a small scope here. I don't know why these ones are glimmering. This is a quest item. Shoddy radiation suits. +1 to Animal Whisperer. Oh, is this gonna... We can actually buy stuff that will impact our direct attributes. That's cool. We don't have enough. That's really interesting. I like that you can just kind of sell all junk, but we don't really have anything. So, cool stuff. Well, that's okay. Maybe next time. So what's your story? Oh, it's not so interesting. I grew up in a village near here, but I was already a grandmother twice over when the Desert Rangers moved into the Citadel. I saw how much good the Rangers were doing, and I wasn't up to much with my children. With my children moved to other villages to start their own families. It was a little unconventional for an old lady to go through basic training, but I pulled my weight and earned my star. I may not be too useful in forward operations, but I've got lots of experience with keeping people well-fed and well-clothed. And I can run a drill press with the best of them. So General Vargas has me help Sergeant Melson run the supply, and I help Captain Mercaptan in the workshop now and again. So we're hearing about a whole bunch of these people. Well, with essentials as tough as to find as they are, I can't just give them away for free, believe me, I wish I could, but we keep our prices as close to cost as we can for our rangers. You can stop by for a basics whenever you're in the area, and once you get clearance to enter the Citadel, you'll get access to some of the most more valuable goodies. You'll have to talk to Sergeant Melson about that when you get inside. So what can you tell me about Vargas? He's a modern-day Patton. He's got a mind for strategy and knows how to make the tough calls, but he's got a gentle side, too. And what about Melson? Oh, he's a great friend and a great quartermaster. We'll all be eating sand and wiping with cactus flowers without him. Or we'd all be eating sand. And what about Captain Mercaptan? She's the smartest person I've ever met, bar none. She can whip up laser beams and water purification systems like I whip up pies. Awesome. What else? What about the Ranger Citadel? Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on back there? I do love this place nowadays. It used to be full of some kooky birds back when I was younger. Fellas seemed to worship pre-war junk, even if they didn't know what it was, and they wouldn't share none of it. Well, I shouldn't get too judgmental. I'm sure they thought they were doing right. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, so we have a vendor that we can trade with. Now, let's see here. Here's our different skills. Perception. Let's see how this works. So take this skill to see other things miss and spot ambushes before they spot you. Perception skill is used to highlight objects of interest, drawing your attention to hidden traps, alarms, and other secrets. Hovering your cursor over an item will also trigger a check. Select this skill to see a visual perception of your... or to see a visual of your perception range. Oh, okay. So this is showing the range, which means here is an example. We've got something. We don't know what this is. But if I walk closer... See, now we've instantly spotted it. Hey, Echo 1, mind picking up that can over there for me? I think there's some water in there. Can we examine this first? Tin cans and goats usually go together. It's recently depleted of beans. Your instincts are telling you that you might not want to steal this goat's next meal. But I can also talk to the goat. What about this thing? Water. It looks clean. You could top off your canteen here if you'd like. Let's do it. What about, Michelangelo? Animal Whisperer. Selection objects use Animal Whisper skill. Michelangelo using Animal Whisperer on Aberfirth. The animal's drawn to you. Okay. Don't know what that means exactly. Devil Eyes, unique. Square pupils don't miss a thing. Oh, cool. So we have now +1 awareness. Because he's with us? Is that what's doing that for us? Look at that. And he's gonna follow us everywhere. Well, let's pick this up now. Oh, interesting. Would you like to dismiss him? No, he can come with us. Look at him, this little goober. That's awesome. Can we pet him? No, he's not. He doesn't understand. Oh, but maybe... What did he say? Nope. Alright. What else we got going on here? A line of white poles form a semicircular. Oh, this was Rook. Okay, he was the guy telling us not to touch that can. Ashley and La Loca. Did you actually think I was serious about wanting that can? I just wanted the goat to hit you in the ass. Okay. Psh, I don't need any training. Just give me some ammo and tell me where the raiders are. I can't believe Vargas is going to train us himself. Then maybe we can join up with you guys. If one of you bites the big one. The general said he'd be out here to train us after the funeral. I don't need any training, just give me some ammo and tell me where the raiders are. One of the other rangers said the trainees usually don't get placed in the team until someone dies. You guys are lucky so far. Okay. Okay, we've got something here. Something seems buried here. Now, because it's in our little circle here, do we have to actually... No, that's just going to turn it on or off. And I actually like having it on. So let's go to Raphael, and let's dig this up. We got somebody else over here, too. Nice. We got sniper rifle ammo and a glass eye. So let's give the sniper rifle to Donnie. Glass eye. Raphael, you take it.
God damn it, Ace. You never should have put down the wrench and picked up the gun.
God damn it, Ace. Okay, so she's like... Sounds like she's probably mourning. Let's have Leonardo start the conversation here. She's a tough-looking redhead with decades of sun and wind and hard living etched into her angular face, stands sobbing in the shadows. You saw her at Ace's retirement party. Okay, so we've been around here for a little bit. But but not too sure of how much backstory we have. The sleeves of her uniform have been torn off, revealing multiple tattoos on her sinewy arms, all skulls. The tears running down her cheeks are splashing on a rusty old wrench she holds in her scarred hands. She's probably maybe a mechanic or something. Using skills. Oh, look at this. Hold on. The Rangers have access to a wide variety of skills to deal with problems they encounter on the Wasteland. Using these skills is a simple process. Select the skill from the hotbar, move the cursor icon over the appropriate target. The Ranger will navigate to the target and begin using the skill. These are active skills. Some skills are passive or non-activated and don't need to be used directly. Weapon skills fall into this category and are used automatically when you fire a weapon. Awesome.
Sorry about the waterworks. I'm still pretty broke up over Ace. I'm Angie. You kids must be the new recruits old Vargas trained up. Lord, y'all just babies.
So I imagine if you just sit here, things might just progress, and that's probably what happened while we were reading there. Leonardo got a perception bonus. Among the skull tattoos that cover Angela's arms, there's a single heart, and within that heart, a single name Ace. So they were probably together, and yeah, she's still pretty broke up over it. Did you know him well? They all hurt, but this one, man. Ace wasn't even a ranger, not at first. He worked as a driver and mechanic for Farron Brago up in Vegas. And when base Cochise started sending its death machines into the desert, Brago sent Ace south to recruit robot fighters. We met him in Quartz. He'd pissed somebody off out there and they'd locked him up. We sorted that out and he started running with us, helping us fight Cochise, and never stopped. Vargas eventually gave him the uniform and the hat, but I don't think he ever formally signed on. He was just always there, and now he's... God damn it, Ace. I knew this one was trouble. I knew it. Okay. How well do you know the General, exactly? Better than you'd like. Back in the day, the General was the craziest of us all. But somehow, after we brought down base Cochise, he became the sanest. Now he's running the whole show and doing a damn fine job while I'm still walking patrols and answering radio calls. Shows how much ambition I got, huh? Now she called us. Where is it here? It was probably previously, but I think she referred to us as babies. Sorry, but you are. As cute as little kittens, y'all remind me of Snake, Razor, and Thrasher. And me, back when we were just starting out. Thinking we were going to save the world for the future. Thinking none of us would ever die. Christ, sorry, don't listen to me. Youth is good, optimism is good. If we all started out worn and jaded like me, nobody ever tried to change the world. So you kids go ahead and give it a go. Maybe it'll work out this time. Now you notice that Snake and Thrasher are in green, Razor's in red. Looks like Vargas used to go by Snake. Well, like I said, he was one wild-ass son of a bitch back in the day, but I think the weight of his responsibilities has kind of squashed that out of him now. He hasn't been in a decent bar fight in, shit, a decade maybe? What happened to this Hellraiser? He's another one gone. Went out for patrol a few weeks back and never came home. Don't know if he's dead or AWOL or gone off to join the Scorpions. All anyone knows, he hasn't called in and we haven't heard from anybody who's seen him. I miss old Hellraiser like blazes, didn't talk much, didn't make friends easy, wasn't big on the social graces, but he was as loyal as they come, and when the shit started flying, he was the guy you wanted at your back. He didn't win that name by accident, sharp as a razor, scary as hell. Who are these Scorpions you're talking about? You weren't briefed on those fucks during your training? Well, let me fill you in. You know, when we left the prison and moved here to the Citadel, well, the Scorpions were the jerks who moved into the prison when we moved out. Okay, so those are the cannibals and the miscreants that we saw earlier. Just a bunch of raiders back then, but they've been getting more organized. Call themselves a militia now and they try to act like they're the Desert Rangers of Eastern Arizona. Well, that's a load of horse shit. A protection racket ain't the same as protecting people. They shake down all their towns for money, and if locals don't kick in, they smash them up. The Rangers aren't like that. We get by on donations and good old-fashioned scavenging. So, can you tell us about the area we're in? Basically everything between the prisons and the radiation clouds to the east. There's a few small towns and farms out there, which the Scorpions claim is their territory. Rangers used to patrol that area before we moved here, and we knew it pretty well, but a lot can change in 15 years. Who knows? Maybe it's all as clean and nice as crime-free as the Scorpions say it is, but I got my doubts. Radiation cloud, so the radiation still lingers. The edges of the map, kiddies, big hot areas we can't go into without getting cooked to a crisp. The clouds move around, some with the wind and weather, but there are permanent hotspots on every side of us, north, south, east, and west. Until we started hearing of those weird broadcasts, I kind of thought those clouds went on forever, and that Arizona was the last place on Earth. But maybe there's more people out there. Huh. Maybe the whole rest of the world's just fine, and we're the only ones in hell. Wouldn't that be a joke? I think we're probably not the only people left, Angela. But let's, do you know anything about these broadcasts and why Ace went to investigate? Have you heard them yourself? Ace played me some of them before he died. Hard to make out a lot of it. But what I heard made my hair stand on end. Some guy talking about turning men into machines or machines into men or some shit. But the crazy thing was, then he starts talking about us, the Rangers, saying we're the cause of all the trouble in the world and we need to be wiped out so his glorious future can be born. I mean, who is this guy? Where is he? And what the fuck does he have against us? I'm gonna ask about Ace's heart being tattooed. You noticed that, huh? Well, Ace always said I wore my heart on my sleeve. Yeah, me and Ace, we were more than just old army buddies, if you know what I mean. So it hurts so bad. That's why I want to come with you. Oh. Well, we would love to have you. What was this base Cochise you were mentioning? An old military facility from before the war and the biggest fight the Rangers ever had. There was some crazy computer in there that kept spitting out robots and sending them off to kill people. We had one hell of a fight putting it down. Earned our stripes that day, literally. That's when I became Captain Deth. Alright. And why was it making robots? Yeah, the base Cochise AI. Don't know what was wrong with it. Broken, I guess. It thought everybody was its enemy. Wanted to kill the whole planet. Okay, so it's an AI. That's interesting. Where's Quartz exactly? Man, not sure if I can recall. I haven't been out there that way in ages. Don't even know if it's still on the map. Ask Thrasher. He'd know. And, okay, well, where's Thrasher? You better call him Gilbert now. Funny, back in the day, he just seemed like this big old growly bear. Strong as an ox and just about as articulate. But then he got all torn up during our fight with the robots from base Cochise, and he couldn't go out on patrol no more. Okay. Any other commander would have handed him his walking papers, but Vargas doesn't dump old friends. So he started him working in the museum. And wouldn't you know it, turns out the old bear has a knack for cartography. He's been gradually mapping our little corner of the wasteland ever since. Who'd have thunk it? So you thought Ace's mission was trouble. Did you think that right from the get-go, or... He was working on the same thing Vargas was working on, trying to track down radio signals from beyond the edges of the map. All seemed to be boring and scientific to me, but then Ace started saying he thought someone was following him. You think science is boring? I asked him to let me come with him when I met him at Rail Nomads to give him the repeater units, but he told me to go back to base. He said he was just jumping at shadows because those radio broadcasts had spooked him. I should have gone with him. Why didn't I go with him? So where is... What can you tell us about Rail Nomads? It could be a nice little place if the Atchisons and Topekans would kiss and make up. I can't even remember what it's all about, but between them, they got enough old railroad tech that if they started working together, or if they worked together, they could give this area a real transportation system. Instead, seems like all they want to do is blow each other's heads off. Idiots. What else do you know about the repeater units? I really don't know the details. It's all a bunch of mumbo-jumbo about transmitters and north-south axis and signals bouncing off the clouds. Ask Woodson about it. He's our radio genius. I'd like to, but I can't get into the Citadel. Do you know Woodson? He's a radio tech. Wade Woodson. Sure do. He's the guy that makes sure you can hear Vargas when you're out on patrol. Keeps all the machines running and the signal clear. He'll talk your ear off about circuits and frequencies and I don't know what else if you let him, but be nice to him. He's your lifeline to the base. Now, she said she wanted to join us. If I ask? Not sure what you're talking about.
Say, listen. Vargas asked you to look into Ace's death because he thought I was too upset to be professional about it. He didn't want me going off half-cocked and shooting up all of Arizona looking for his killer. But I gotta find this guy. Ace and me, well, We'd been fighting side by side for nigh on 20 years. I'm not letting him die unavenged.
I could use that feistiness.
So, well, I know it's going against orders, but if you let me tag along and be in at the kill, well, I'll help you find your feet out there. Maybe give you a few pointers along the way. I may be old and slow, but I know the wastes like the back of my hand. What do you say?
Yeah, big time. Nice. So we have a follower.
Cool. No need to tell Vargas why I joined you. If anybody asks, I'm just helping you get oriented, all right?
Yeah, we'll go with that. During your travels, you may come across people willing to join your party as long as certain conditions are met. When a new person joins your party, they are available to use, just like your initial rangers. Make sure to equip and level them up as you progress. Keep in mind, they have their own personalities and might behave in ways you don't expect, which is where a leadership stat comes into play, because, let's see here. Oh, these are under our skills. Leadership, here we go. Reduce chance followers ignore orders in combat by 5%. Increase nearby allies' chance to hit. So that could impact Angela for sure. So she is well equipped with assault rifles and brute force. She's a hard ass, got blunt weapons, weaponsmithing, and an outdoorsman. Outdoorsman, that's fantastic because we don't have anybody with that skill. And everything else is a 0. Let's check out her attributes. So coordination very high, low luck, she'll fit in well here. She's going to gain 3 skill points per level. She's got an M1 primary. Let's use this wrench as a secondary. She's also got pain relievers and faded letters. Each of these letters is faded and yellowed with age and use. To my angel is scrawled in the front in loving, if slightly messy handwriting. Okay. Oh, that's cool. We've already talked to these guys. Let's see what else we're working with here. Doesn't look like we can go inside that area. We've got another hole that we could potentially dig here. Something seems to be buried here. All right, let's dig it up. Go ahead, Raph. All right, so we got scrap and tobacco. We'll take it. Just to be sure. Oh, interesting. It just... Now, who took that? Let's get this to Raphael. So where'd the tobacco go, I wonder? Oh, right here. Okay, perfect. Alright, it doesn't seem like we're going to get any further here, so we're probably going to have to head out and travel. Bring our little goat with us. We also have Angela. Gather your party and travel to the Wasteland. All party members will go to the new location. Yes. What we'll do is we'll end the video here. And we come back, we'll go and travel and see what happens. This is obviously, we're just getting introduced to all the characters and things. We'll probably run into some combat soon, and I'll need all of the advice that I can get. This should be very interesting. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really liking like the role-playing aspect of it and just being able to talk about different things. There's tons of options, tons of dialogue. It's going to be me reading a lot, but I want to be as thorough as possible. I'm even taking notes on some of the people that we've met and in hopes of remembering them down the road, and not just people we've met, but some of the people that they've mentioned as well. So thank you guys very much. I hope you guys enjoy Wasteland 2. Since it's the first video in the series, if you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, and other than that, we'll see you guys very soon. I'll probably put up multiple episodes of this in the next few days, and I'm looking forward to it. I think this is going to be great. We'll see you guys later. Goodbye.